to be here. Thank you guys for coming out and spending the night with me. Thank you so much. I have great news to report. I just got back from a worldwide USO tour, and America is still number one. We are still the greatest country in the world. No doubt. You have nothing to worry about, because America has got the fattest poor people on the planet. I am telling you, our poor people weigh 400 pounds. They smoke 4 packs of cigarettes a day. I'm not too worried. You know what I'm saying? You go to Africa, their poor people look hungry. But we're Americans, damn it. Yeah. It's so nice of you guys to come out. Now, I'm going to tell you a few sort of inside Hollywood stories that we got to keep to ourselves, okay? Because I don't want to get sued or blackballed, so we'll pretend we won't tell anybody, okay? It's just between us, and we're friends now, and I'll tell you, and it won't get around. And then I'm going to give you some relationship advice, because as you know, that's my area of expertise, right? I mean, Dr. Phil is great, but the man has been married to the same woman for 30 years happily. What does he know? I got 4 rings, just like Shaq. I got 4 more rings than LeBron James here. It took me 50 years to find the right woman, but I made it, because I didn't give up. And she's backstage, and unless this is the best episode of Punk that there's ever been, I am finally in a happy relationship. And I am very grateful. It was, you know, my first mistake was in my other marriages. I always had a if you build it, they will come attitude. You know, because I had a house, and then I brought a wife in, and I thought eventually they would like me, which could lead to love. But it's better if they like you before you get married. I figured that out too. It's a little advice there, something you should probably know. Now, my first marriage, I think that was like Vietnam a little bit. There were no winners. I got out of there in a helicopter in a hail of gunfire. Second marriage was like the first Gulf War. It was 48 hours, great TV, in and out, you know what I mean? My third marriage is like the current Gulf War. It will not end. She is still suing me for my life insurance. You know how you get paid for somebody's life insurance? I don't think she has my best interests in mind, you know what I mean? I got a letter from her lawyer, I swear. She wants to know where her bench is. It costs $25 at a yard sale. The lawyer letter cost $1,000. She wasn't that interested in me when we were married. I'm going to tell you, they all like me when I'm gone. But I got lucky. I don't know what it is with Ashley, but she believes in me. I mean, that's what we need. Us men, we need that. We need that. We need somebody that believes in us when we don't. And that's a really great thing. I also really care about what you guys think. I really do. And I have to tell you something. Every time there's a celebrity divorce, they always have this list. Mel Gibson's ex-wife got $650 million. Tiger Woods' wife got whatever. And at the end of that list, it always says, Tom Arnold got $50 million from Roseanne Barr. I think you guys are witness to the fact. I didn't take a dime from that woman. Listen, I'm in San Bernardino staying at the Hilton this weekend. If I had $50 million, I'd be at Arnold Schwarzenegger's birthday party in Beverly Hills smoking Cuban cigars. But I am a working man. I have to get up there and work. And the $50 million thing, you know, it's her money. You know, it's for my stepkids, you know. And I thought to myself, you know, I'll leave that there for her, and then eventually maybe we'll be friends again, like we were when I was 23. But a month after that, she went on Saturday Night Live and said I had a 3-inch penis.
And I'm like, bitch, even a 747 looks small when it lands in the Grand Canyon.
And I'll admit, sometimes I do have a 3-inch penis, and you know, we all do. An example, I had to go in for an angiogram. Has anybody had an angiogram? Yeah, you've had one. Well, all I do is that they stick a piece of wire into your heart while you're awake and you watch it on a TV monitor. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? Sounds cool, sounds tough. So I invited all the women that volunteer at my kids' heart camp to watch it, which was a big mistake. As you know, they're getting ready to perform the angiogram. They're behind the glass. I'm giving them the thumbs up. Because, by the way, you see a woman being nice to a sick kid, you fall in love with her. That's easy. But getting them to fall in love with Tom Arnold, that's going to take some John Wayne shit. You know what I mean? But what's more John Wayne than having steel stuck into your heart? Right before they start, the male nurse whips my sheet down and starts shaving my balls. No warning, right? Did you read the pamphlet before you went in? I should have done that. Anytime you have heart surgery, read the pamphlet. I didn't know that. And besides, guys, we get a 10-second warning to each other. Hey, you know, in 10 seconds, your balls are going to be showing. So if you want a couple jerks under the sheet, because I can get my penis, you know, if it's going to be on display, I can get a half, you know, I get it going. You're in the hospital anyway, you got that fight or flight thing going, so everything's kind of pulled in as it is. And the guy gives me no warning. And what, by the way, are there any doctors here? Why do they enter here to get to your heart? You got a freaking hole right here. You can stuff the thing in there. Needless to say, it did not go well. I saw their faces. I know they take it a Hippocratic oath, but they're like, oh my God, that is... Yeah. So, anytime I've tried to act cool to impress a woman, which is all we live for, by the way. Are you guys married? Yeah. See, women don't realize how much we love them, how much we want them to be happy. We need them to be happy because we can't control what goes on outside the house. The rest of the world, we don't control that. But inside our house, our woman has to be happy. That's our job one for every man that's in love. We care that much. I'm telling you, I know it's hard to believe. Sometimes we act stupid and we say stupid things, but no real man would ever intentionally hurt a woman's feelings. Now, we do sometimes. I'll give you an example. I was sitting next to my ex-wife. She was getting makeup on, and I heard the makeup artist say she'd gotten a facelift. And I said to my ex-wife wanted one. And I said, no, you're not getting a facelift. Obviously, I don't care what you look like. I married you the way you are. And the next thing I know, I got bloody scratch marks down the side of my face. And after we wrestled in Judd Apatow's grandma's front yard, it became clear to me, as she explained it, see, what I meant was, I love you unconditionally. But what she heard was what I said. And it was a mistake I never would make again. You know, people put too much on looks. You know, these young guys, they say, I gotta have a perfect 10. She's gotta have a nice butt, and, you know, abs and big fake boobs. That is a recipe for heartache, let me tell you guys. Looks are overrated. I've never even been attracted to a woman that did not have an obvious physical flaw. Like missing a leg or some shit like that, because the truth is, eventually, I gotta take off this t-shirt in front of her. And the last thing you want to hear is, oh my God, look at your love handles. Really? What about your stump, bitch? Why don't you hop on over here and we'll get it going, man? Looks are overrated. Women, I'm telling you, you can gain 30 pounds, your husband won't even notice. We don't notice that stuff. We might say, is your hair a different color? Something is different. When other women notice that, but men don't notice that. I see cellulite, I'm relieved, because she might stay. Your happiness, I know, because we're stupid. I know, it seems like we don't care as much as we do, but making you happy is everything to us. It is. If you made a list of 500 things and promised at the end that you'd be happy if we did them all, every man here would do them. Am I right? Every man that's in love. We'd be so happy. We would be so happy. We have the list. You'd have to type it up for us and use big font and number it for us. But every day we'd be going through that list doing 2 or 3 things. We'd be bragging our buddies, 386 more things. My wife's gonna be happy forever. It's right there. She signed it. Every day of my life, she's gonna be happy. My job is done. You know, I come home sometimes, and I've got mild Asperger's and ADHD. I look at her eyes, and something's wrong. I can tell, you know? And I say, what's wrong? And she says, nothing. And that's horrifying for us men, because we know it's something, and she probably thinks we should know what it is, but we have no idea whatsoever. So we start the guessing game. Oh, it's because I peed on the carpet by the toilet again. I've been having a lot of vitamins in it. Oh, that's not it? It's because I grabbed your sister's titty at that party. That was a joke. That was a joke, honey. You didn't even know about that? Oh, we dig ourselves a hole. Just tell us what it is, seriously. We'll make it right. We'll make amends. And if it's not about us, we'll go watch the freaking game. Let us off the hook, because we care that much. We love you that much. Am I right? I know, we really, really do. And there's only 3 things that you need to do for us. All men are the same. Me, those guys, Barack Obama, Arnold Schwarzenegger. 3 things to make a man happy. 1, 5 minutes of quiet time during Sports Center. And it's got to be like total quiet, because sometimes they got words and video up there, and you know, we're hyper-focusing. We got to get the score of our team's game. And if you're talking about Oprah and Dr. Oz and we miss it, oh shit. It's got to loop around to women's lacrosse. Honey, you don't understand. Sports affects our quality of life. I cannot explain it, but it does. It makes a big difference. The second thing we love, and I know this sounds old-fashioned, okay? We love it when you make us something to eat with your own hands, and it's fried and bread and meat related. And it could be as simple as a fried bologna sandwich on a paper plate. But then our queen brings it to us and presents it to us. And the key is, while we're eating this thing, you just sit there and smile. And we feel so loved, so nurtured. Which is why I had to get the angiogram, probably. She's trying to kill me, yes. The third thing all men love. Barack Obama, Arnold Schwarzenegger, me, those guys, we love it when you lick our balls. Am I right? That's a game changer. You could have the worst day of your life. You lost your job. Your whole family was killed by asteroids. You come home, she's like, lay down, honey, this one's on me. 3 minutes later, you're like, oh, I don't care about the Gulf, the oil spill, Michelle. This is the greatest moment of my life, and it is. And you're the only person in the world that gets to lick our balls, because we're married to you. I think it's in the Bible. It's about intimacy. It is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. And if we could do it ourselves, believe me, we would. I went to one yoga class. Have you been to yoga? I went to one yoga class, and I swear, before we go anywhere, Ashley's always like, please don't embarrass me. I'm like, why would I? What does that mean? Just don't embarrass me. I'm like, okay, whatever. The yoga instructor said, before we start, are there any questions? And he looked at me and he goes, 4 years. And I go, how did you know what I was going to ask? Well, how long before you can suck your own dick? I'm like, well, see, that's where you don't know me. I was going a little farther. A little deeper than that. How long do you think before I could lick my own balls? And the guy actually sized me up, and he's like, well, you'd have to lose about 70 pounds, and I don't know, 8, 9 years. And I'm like, f*** it, I'm out of here. If you had a 6-week ball licking boot camp, I'd be here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.